I pulled the trigger and I got the Empire 40 that was on sale on the Coach Outlet Reserve section. If you guys are not following my channel, I do encourage you to follow along. I post a lot of deals on my community tab. That's like my favorite game, is finding really good, high quality bag, shoes, whatever I can find on sale and let you guys in on it, because it's become my favorite game. That's how I buy my bags these days, is on really good deals. Unless I'm just super impatient, then I'll pay full price if the price is right. But I wanted to share you guys my journey of this Empire 40. Sorry if I'm out of breath. It's been a lot, but here I am unboxing this for you guys. I was trying to alternate between doing it here and TikTok, but I got the Empire 40 in navy. And if you've been following my channel for a while, the Empire 40, specifically in the navy color, was the bag that made me love the Empire. I could not justify it for my lifestyle. This bag is usually around $700. I was like, that's a little bit too much money for me to spend on something that I didn't really see in my mind that I had a use for. I wasn't traveling as much since we moved here to Texas. I wasn't traveling as frequently as I was before. I was traveling every 6 to 8 weeks before this. And I just could not bring myself to buy it. And I kept telling myself it was maybe a fantasy self sort of bag, a bag when I want to look a certain way, present a certain way, go to work, do all that thing, I'll do all of that. But I'm a stay-at-home mom. And whenever I would see people unbox this bag, do reviews, whatever, whenever they would talk about the purpose that this bag serves in their life and why they bought it, they always mentioned a laptop. They would take their laptop on the plane to work every day, all this other extra stuff. And that's not me. I don't even own a laptop anymore. And my son also smashed my iPad to bits at the beginning of this year and threw it in the bathtub. So I don't even have an iPad to tote around every day. So I just could not justify the price for the bag. And it didn't matter how much I loved it. It just didn't make sense for me and my lifestyle. So when I saw this bag go on such a deep discount, it was $400 down from $795, which would have meant it would have been over $700 after tax, right? I pulled the trigger. It took me a minute though. And I remember on the community tab under this post, I was talking to one of you guys, and one of you guys said, yes, I do not have a purpose for this bag right now, but in the future I will. And I found that comment right after I had made the decision to buy it. And that was my thought process. And usually I go against that thought process, have a bag that you can use right now instead of like saving it and waiting. But when I was hearing all this buzz about the navy color in the 40 being completely discontinued and I wouldn't have a chance at it later in the future unless I bought it secondhand. And we all know how Coach's secondhand or later down the line when it stops being in production, the prices tend to go up really high. I was just thinking to myself, yes, you don't really have too much of a use for this bag. You have the Empire 28 that you don't feel like you wear enough, even though it's a smaller size. It's kind of like the perfect size for my lifestyle. But I couldn't get this out of my head for some reason. It came out, last year, summer or fall? And I remember everybody was super in love with the Merlot color. And don't get me wrong, it looks nice, the Merlot. I love that one too, but I don't think reds go well with my wardrobe. So I was immediately drawn to this navy color. And some videos show the navy as being brighter than what it actually is, at least on my bag. This one really looks like, you know how I am in my head. This one reminds me of Batman. It is navy, but it's like really dark, burnished navy, hints of black. It's just very deep. And I actually love it. First impressions, I got this bag in a huge box and it was completely factory wrapped. And I wasn't expecting this. I was expecting the huge box because, as you guys know, especially on TikTok, that video went viral where I had this huge box and only a wallet and a notebook was inside from Outlet. This box was justified because it is a 40 Empire bag, size 40. So it came in that box. I didn't get to unbox it. My son did. He saw the huge box, so he opened it and he was dragging my bag around the house. But it was completely factory wrapped. And I was surprised by that because usually, or a lot of times, you run the risk with Coach where you don't get factory wrapped things. It just kind of comes in the box, especially if it's on sale. You don't know what you're going to get. This bag was completely factory wrapped, as you can see. And I got it First impression when I opened the box was, oh my God, I do think this is going to be way too heavy for me. And that was another reason why I didn't buy it before. I was like, it might be too heavy. I was seeing a lot of people say it was too heavy. But again, those people were carrying pencil cases, pens, medicine, laptops, over the head earphones, all of these things that you'll need for travel or for business or things like that. On its own, when I took it out of the factory wrapping, on its own, it was really heavy in my opinion. I took it out and it still had all the factory wrapping on there. But when I stripped it down and only left the factory wrapping that was stuffing on the inside of the bag wasn't heavy, even with the stuffing on the inside. So I know it's going to be even lighter of a weight once I take that out. I do feel like my Empire 28 is a bit heavy. I switched from my swing zip into my Empire 28, and all I did was just dump everything into my Empire 28. I didn't add anything or anything, but just the contents from my swing zip, which is the smaller bag, into my Empire 28, I felt like it was very heavy. And I tend to wear my Empire's top handle or on the crook of my arm the most. So this is what I would have to try. I do feel like if I do carry it just on a daily or have it be like my bag, which it does seem too big to just be like a everyday bag. I think the way it looks is kind of formal and kind of businessy. It does feel a little bit ridiculous to carry it as an every single day bag, but it is such a beauty, you guys. Like, I'm looking at it over there on my counter. I just finished unboxing it. Another impression I thought was going to happen was I was going to feel like this was a bag that needed to be dressed up. I feel that way about my Empire 28. I feel like when it's not dressed up, it looks beautiful, don't get me wrong. I fell in love with it when I first unboxed it. But sometimes when I take all the dressings off and it's just sitting on my shelf, I'm not moved to wear it. When I dress it up and it looks really cool, that's when I feel like it's a vibe, it's more casual. And I felt like that about this one too, but I haven't dressed it up just yet and it's just so beautiful. I bought this with the intention of my future self in the next maybe 2-3 years. My husband and I have been talking a lot about what's going to happen. But if we send my kid to school, this will be a good bag for me. Also, because I might go back to work. But if we decide to homeschool, it would also be very good because that means I will be traveling with him and that can be a good travel bag. Also, right now in the present, we like to take road trips a lot. My husband does. I have car anxiety, so it's not my favorite thing to do, but I'm married to somebody who prefers to drive places rather than fly. So I do feel like with the lifestyle we have right now, road trips, staycations, things like that, that's going to be the perfect bag that I can put everything in. My son's iPad or his books or his flashcards, extra change of clothes, maybe some pull-ups, whatever. That is the perfect tote. I imagine myself like putting a dinky or a swing zip or something like that in this bag while we're traveling instead of having a separate duffel or grocery tote full of stuff. I imagine having this bag in the back to where I can wear it, or I could take out the smaller bag as well. So that's my envisioning. I didn't have to talk myself much into buying this bag because I knew it was ridiculous of a size for a lifestyle like mine, but knew that this was the bag that made me fall in love with the Empire, and I would have loved to own it, but I could never justify it for the price. As low as this price dipped, it was like no brainer because I buy bags in that price most of the time. That's my preferred price range for brand new bags, but I tend to get them when they're way lower than that. As you guys know, my other fantasy self bag was my Times Square Tabby 26. I felt like this bag was a little too formal for me and a little too large, but now that I have it in my hand, it feels pretty casual. I haven't worn it yet, but I don't feel like I need to wait for a special occasion to wear it. I just haven't worn it yet. This is a relatively new bag and I got this for $300 and something. So this is my preferred. I love looking and finding the deal and just being patient and sitting on my purchases a lot. But I must admit, even when the Empire 40 went on sale in the navy color, which is my favorite Empire of all time that ever came out, I still did not pull the trigger until later in the day. I posted this deal early in the morning when I first found it. And I didn't pull the trigger till later. And I remember I kept going to the website over and over and over again. And I posted it for you guys because I know I have people who watch my channel that have various different lifestyles. So I never know, even bags that I feel might be ugly or might not work for me or aren't my style, I still post it because you never know who might like it. There's a bag for everybody out there. So when I posted the deal, I felt kind of scared because this bag, I know I'm not the only person who likes this bag. So I was like, man, this is going to sell out and I'm never going to have a chance to have it again. Turns out, I don't know if it was a mistake that they listed this on the outlet website, but I think the following day they took it off. And when people were asking about it, it was back up to $695 and they stopped selling it at the $400 price. So now I'm not even sure if they're going to discontinue this navy color or not. Coaches can be really confusing with how they price things and what they put up for a limited time and then take it down. You never know what is going through their head. So now I'm not even sure if they're going to discontinue this bag, but I am just happy that I have it and I didn't have to pay an arm and a leg. $400 is still $400 freaking dollars. But this bag, when you touch it and you feel it, it easily feels like maybe it's going to be $1,500. $695, I didn't feel was a bad price anyway. It was just not something I was willing to pay for a sometimey special occasion moment. But I know money is money and $400 means something way different from one person to the next. $700 means something from one person to the next. And here on YouTube, you see people who every month they're spending $3,000, $4,000 on one bag or $1,000 on one wallet. So it's like, you never know. But that bag, touching it easily to me feels like $1,500 easy. You know what I mean? So it is very high quality. It is absolutely stunning of a bag, even without anything on it. And that's the thing. I feel like sometimes when I look at like maple or the honey brown, those bags, I feel like it needs something. It needs a pop. It needs a charm. It needs a chain. It needs something, a twilly. The navy and the Merlot, I don't feel like they need too much hype up there. But I must admit, when I see that New York cluster charm, which I will never get because I don't like the sound of it, I love it. Like, I love looking at pictures with the Empire when it first dropped on the runway or in photos, and you see the yellow taxi with the red apple with the navy. That color combination just is beautiful to me. So I might go ahead and get some things just to jazz it up just a bit here and there. I'm not in a rush because I'm not sure how often I would want to wear it. But if I can be honest right now, I do want to hop into it already because it's just that beautiful. Leather is spectacular. And I'm just surprised because I thought it was going to be way too big for me, but it didn't feel all that big at all. Like, it does. There were mixed reviews when I was looking it up over the last year when people were saying, yeah, it's not a travel bag. Do not use this as a travel bag. Not use it as like your carry-on. You don't want to put this under your seat. And I remember Aisa from Asia, she had a mishap where I think she damaged her bag a little bit when she put it under the seat. I've seen people like fold it and stuff, but I'm the camp of, I like when the Empires look busted and disgusted. I like when they look super used and they're super like slouchy, like they look incredibly like love. Like, yeah, I've been wearing this, I've been wearing it down with like a lot of weighty items and it comes with me everywhere. I like that look, you know. LB, talked to her a lot on TikTok, actually more than YouTube, but she has the Empire 40 in Merlot and she's kind of a stay-at-home mom, just like me. She helps her husband, but she wears hers beautifully as well. And hers is starting to look really soft and loved and worn in. So that inspired me because we do have similar lifestyles where we are primarily focused on our kids. And then here and there we do work, you know what I mean? So she inspired me to think, you know, I can make this work for me a little bit more frequently. We'll see. But again, when the price dropped that low, I didn't really care. I didn't care because I do feel and know that I have everything that I could need and want when it comes to bags. So it doesn't matter to me as much having like special sometimey bags or fantasy self bags if they're at a decent price. You know what I mean? Because I have plenty of everyday bags. I have an array of everyday bags. I don't need more and more every single day bags because I have everything that I can need. Yeah, I am going to insert a lot of like B-roll into here so you can really see the vibe of this new Empire 40. I was surprised that it didn't really feel too big, too bulky, too cumbersome. I do feel like it will be very heavy if you have a full 13-inch laptop, 15-inch laptop. If you're using it as a tech bag, I think it is, because it's full grain leather. It's going to already have a little bit of weight to it, all that leather, but it is so soft, it's so smushy. Yeah, thinking I might give it a wear soon, maybe over the winter time for sure, depending on what we do. We've been thinking about hosting the holidays here for our family, but we're not sure if anybody's gonna be able to make it, because so far, almost everybody, 90% of our family said they're not gonna be able to fly down, which is understandable because you do have to fly to get to us. We're in the middle of nowhere too, so sure what we're gonna do, but I know I wanna wear it before the year is out. I wanna wear it now, but I'm not. I'm still in this bag, which has quickly become like maybe top 3 bags in my collection. I love this bag. It's such a breeze. It goes with everything. And I don't have much in here. I have less than I usually do because this is my mom bag of choice right now. I got super just over my Lululemon belt bag, so I changed it up and wore my second mom bag. So a lot of my stuff is in here. But as you can see, like, because the bag is bigger, it doesn't mean that I have to pack it to capacity and have it be super heavy for no reason. And it also gives me room to grow if I do have to like stop at a store and throw a drink in there or a pack of candy or snacks or something. I still have room to grow in there, but usually everything that's in here, like that's my wallet, my hand sanitizer, everything. This is what I've been wearing just around the neighborhood. But when I'm going out, I dump everything back into my actual bag and wear that. So I plan to do the same with the Empire 40 and also with this bag, because this is another one I heard gets really heavy. But again, I don't have any intention of overstuffing my bags like that. There's not much that I really need to carry every single time I leave the house. Like I don't need a case of pens. I can use one pen or, you know what I mean? It's just like things, I do want to make work with my lifestyle and how much I need to carry. But overall, like love this navy. I'm glad that I made the decision the whole time it was en route. It only took 4 days to get here. Came on Sunday yesterday. And I think when did I post the deal? Like Wednesday or Thursday of last week. So it didn't take long to get to me, but the whole time I was like, you know what? It wasn't impulsive because I sat on this decision for a year now and it was the price that set up the trigger, but I had been thinking a lot and I was like, just get it. And if you don't like it, you could just sell it off or return it or whatever. And now I absolutely love it. Like, I think I don't have much variety in my collection. It is really tabby, dinky Empire that takes up the majority of my collection. And I'm happy with that. You love this Empire 40. Like, it's absolutely amazing. But yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.